How much have cars moved on in the last 20, 25
Wow,
years?
Mike, that's such a good question. I remember cars from the 80s and the 90s and the
What
2000s.
K-Jetronic fuel injection was the bee's knees.
That is sort of in the late 80s when it started to come out. Golf GTIs, some Mercs, and we were paranoid. Mechanics and people that own workshops were like, what the hell, this is fuel injection.
But you see the end.
Bring me the old, carburetor back. In those days, those cars were the same. They all had carburetors, they all had points and condensers, and they all had simple stuff in them. If you had a problem with a car, you could normally manipulate something to get it to work. So let's say you broke down on the side of the road and said, okay, well, the points are closed. Let me adjust them, and you could splutter and fart back home. That was cool. Nowadays, you break down, you've got no chance. Run the AA, get a tow truck, whatever. So technology has gone from something that was simple to something that is very, very, very complicated and sophisticated. So the problem now, what's happening in workshops is that cannot keep up with that technology. The dealers can't,
Right.
and we can't. Why? Because you've got a 15-year-old guy in a white dust coat in a lab at some manufacturer who's got a doctorate degree from MIT who's designing these things. Anybody who's driven any car in the last, let's say, 5 years, if you look at the technology in the car, what are they selling? They're selling tech.
Right.
There's this bun fight who's got the biggest freaking screen in their car, which I hate. But besides that, the technology that's coming through on engines for emissions, big problem on cars now is...
But are emissions being manipulated, or is that real in your opinion?
I get the thinking behind it. And I'm also for, let's look after our planet. Let's have a greener environment. Let's have a cleaner environment. And you do see it. I mean, if you go back many years and you see what New York was like, and London and Paris and all these big cities, there's lots of pollution and stuff like that. So you've got to try and look after the planet. That's cool. But the way that things are happening now, all these emission components that get put on cars, I would say a good 80% of problems that we see with cars are related to those.
Now, are we talking stuff like catalytic converters?
So in terms of a petrol car, catalytic converters, diesel particulate filters, exhaust gas reticulation systems, all these things that they put on cars. But it's also consumer driven. So
Right.
a consumer wants to get into a car, look at a car, and the inside is all digital. And the screens are big and they do all these fancy things. Great selling point. But let's think about the future in 5 years' time. If I look back at when those cars started to come out, BMW 7 Series came out with the iDrive system. And you had a little knob and you turned it, and the systems were garbage, and they still are garbage. The problem, those cars, people who still have those cars now, you can't get those things fixed.
Right.
It's like your cell phone. The thing gives a problem. What do? Gooi weg. Throw this piece of crap away. So all that technology is coming in cars. So it's great when you drive them. It's nice and new, but it makes cars problematic when they're getting older. And who has to pay for that?
Consumer.
Change Cars. It's what you want to do, and it's who we are.